The crumbling walls of this abandoned fort in the Highlands of New Mexico provides a haunting look into a not-so-distant past that was both similar and different from how we live today. Current American military might is focused on high-tech strategies to protect at home and project power abroad. But in the mid-1800s, it was used to subdue and conquer both the territory and the people of the American West. These remains are evidence of that. Believe it or not, the primary mode for travel for settlers of the West was wagon trains, and as many as 100 passed through this fort a day. Even 150 years later, the ruts and erosion caused by the wagons on the Santa Fe Trail allow us to still clearly see its route across the prairie. They would rest and resupply in what was the largest fort in the region. More than 1,000 soldiers were stationed here, along with the support they required, and the travelers passing through on the Santa Fe Trail. This was once a crowded and bustling place. The fort also served as a base for military action against the native people, including Apaches, Navajos, Cheyennes, Arapahoes, Kiowas, Utes, and Comanches. Later, it served to defend against a Confederate invasion of New Mexico, and the Battle of Glorieta between Union and Confederate troops occurred 20 miles from here in 1862, although these soldiers did not participate in that battle. Not surprisingly, the building that stood up best was the prison cells that held the most dangerous people arrested during the fort's service. The most iconic view of Fort Union is of the row of officers' houses. They were once grand structures. The adobe has crumbled substantially, but the red brick of the chimneys, carried all the way from Kansas City by wagon, still stands in mute testimony to the life that was once lived here. These are the views of Fort Union that most people remember the best. The hospital building has also deteriorated substantially. Once the best hospital for 500 miles, it provided care to countless patients. It looks so different today than it did in its heyday. Although built in another era, Fort Union was not without some conveniences. It had 2 ice houses, a well powered first by animals and later by a steam engine, several bathhouses, and in the 1880s, running water and indoor plumbing was installed. The photos of past residents shows a lifestyle not so different from ours today. The completion of the Transcontinental Railroad and the changing social and political environment in the U.S. eliminated the need for this massive fort, and it was abandoned in 1891. It deteriorated until it became a national monument in 1954, preserving our memories of this significant but very different chapter of American history. The crumbling buildings, haunting winds, and wide vistas serve as a reminder of a life that was very different from the one we live today, but served as an essential building block for our current lives. Thank you for joining me at Fort Union, New Mexico, and thank you for watching.